After having... Oh my god, I thought my phone was cracked. After having all day to really process and think about this LaMelo Ball to the Minnesota Timberwolves trade, I have some thoughts. Now, I did drop a video earlier today about my Minnesota Timberwolves off-season preview and what I think that they need to do after the draft and all the trades that they've made, and I only very quickly and briefly talked about the LaMelo Ball trade. But in this video, I want to talk about it a little bit more in depth and get my honest and true feelings out there. Hello everyone and welcome back to Step Back with Zach, and in today's video, what the fuck? So in case you live under a rock, the Charlotte Hornets traded all-star point guard LaMelo Ball along with Josh Green to the Minnesota Timberwolves in exchange for Naz Reid, 1 first-round pick, 3 first-round pick swaps, and 3 second-round picks. Now, immediately, because again, I woke up around 4 in the morning to just, look at my phone, and I saw that not only had Kobe White been re-signed, but the Charlotte Hornets front office was very busy, and they also made that god-awful trade. Like, I don't know who the GM of the Charlotte Hornets is, but are you good, bro? Are you good? Are you intoxicated? Were you drunk? Were you drinking the Hennessy? Were you smoking reefer? What are you doing? What an awful, awful, awful trade. If you're the Charlotte Hornets fans, I am so sorry. I would not blame you if you were crying your eyes out all day. This trade is blasphemous. It is terrible. Shams Charania, you are such a faker or a false advertiser, because the Hornets did not get a haul for this. They got 1 first-round pick and 3 second-round picks. Those pick swaps aren't going to amount to anything. They are all the worst swaps, and they're not going to care about those picks. Those picks are all going to be like 28, 29, 30. No one cares about those. The Timberwolves essentially got an all-star caliber point guard for pennies on the dollar. And yes, Naz Reid is an incredible player, but he's not an all-star. He's not an all-NBA caliber guy. He's a fan favorite in Minnesota, and I love Naz Reid, but you'd trade him in a heartbeat for LaMelo Ball, especially when the Minnesota Timberwolves have been looking for an all-star caliber point guard to fit alongside Anthony Edwards. And I think that LaMelo Ball is one of the most perfect players that you could have paired alongside Ant. LaMelo Ball is such a damn good playmaker. He's one of the best offensive engines in the entire NBA, one of the best offensive players in general. He's an incredible three-point shooter, be it off the dribble, off the catch, whatever, and I think that he's really going to help unlock a different level of Anthony Edwards' offensive abilities that we have not seen yet. That being his ability to play off of the ball. With such an elite playmaker, LaMelo Ball, by the way, is easily the best playmaker that Anthony Edwards has played with, but with LaMelo there now, this is going to not only help Anthony Edwards get the ball in spots that he's never been able to get it before, but this is also going to take so much pressure off of Anthony Edwards, and he did have a big playmaking burden, well, supposedly anyway, he didn't really take up that mantle, but now with LaMelo Ball, you don't really have to worry about that if you're Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards and LaMelo Ball are 2 of the best three-point shooters in the entire NBA. Along with Ayo Dosunmu and Dante DiVincenzo, if he's not traded and when he comes back, that 4-man guard tandem is going to be the most lethal offensive guard tandem in the entire NBA. I don't know if tandem means 2 or 3 or whatever. I'm just going to use that word because I can. But what an incredible get for the Minnesota Timberwolves. At first, I was like, I'm not really sure because LaMelo Ball's been injury prone. And with this trade, you've also just now got rid of 2 of your most important big men pieces in Julius Randle and Naz Reid. But now that I've really thought about it, who gives a shit? You've got an elite playmaker, the best point guard that Ant has ever played with. Then I can guarantee you, Rudy Gobert is going to have his best offensive year at 35 years old, which is crazy. LaMelo Ball is really, really good. Now, of course, there are questions when it comes to LaMelo Ball. Absolutely. Like, can he stay healthy? Is the defense going to be there? And a lot of people, because of these things, are quite low on LaMelo, and I've seen a lot of people say that the Hornets actually won that trade. And if you're one of those people, please pull your head out the sand. That's not true at all. LaMelo Ball last season came off the best season of his career. not numbers-wise. His efficiency was a little bit down. His scoring wasn't as good as it has been, but he was clearly the best offensive version that we have ever seen. He led the Charlotte Hornets to the best offense for the majority of the entire NBA season. Do you think that Concaniple would have been as great as he was without LaMelo Ball? I certainly don't bloody think so. There is not a chance in my mind. I don't know who is the Hornets GM? I'm going to have a look. Jeff Peterson. You dummy. What are you doing? Maybe there are some things going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. Maybe it's injury concerns. Jeff, did LaMelo sleep with your missus or something? Because this is so uncalled for. This was not necessary. If you were going to trade LaMelo, you should have done it 2 seasons ago. Because LaMelo literally led the best single-season turnaround in Charlotte Hornets franchise history and led them to their best season in who knows how long. And you trade the best player on your team for a 6th Man of the Year winner. Naz Reid has not started the majority of his games that he's played in the NBA. Then you traded him for one actual first-round pick all the way in 2033. What a boneheaded trade, man. And maybe he's thinking, oh, we got Concaniple and Brandon Miller still. That'll sort us out. No, motherfucker, it won't. Concaniple and Brandon Miller are great basketball players. I am so high on Concaniple. I think he's going to be incredible. But those two are both complementary players, meaning they are not going to initiate the offense. They are great offensive players. They are not offensive engines. The guy who made this offense purr and run incredibly was LaMelo Ball, and you gave him away for a bag of peanuts. What are we doing, Jeff? Come on, man. In my Charlotte Hornets offseason preview video, I said that the Hornets are my team out east for next season. That ain't the case anymore. They have gone completely they have taken a nosedive right into the ocean. Because without LaMelo Ball on this team, they're not sniffing the playoffs. Are you joking? Yeah, you re-signed Kobe White. He's a great player, and that is a great re-signing for him and the team, obviously. But Kobe White is not a playmaker. He's a scorer. He's a combo guard. You have now put all the playmaking burden on the 18th overall pick in Christian Anderson, who I don't even think is going to be a starter in the NBA or a starting level player for a long ass time. This was a ridiculous and stupid trade. Charlotte Hornets fans, I am so sorry. I renounce my rights to this bum. I'm still going to be hoping and praying for the Charlotte Hornets because, like I said, I love Concaniple. Brandon Miller is one of my favorite players as well. Moussa Diabate, I love that guy. Naz Reid, incredible. Charles Lee, the head coach, has earned so much respect from me, and now he's going to have his work even more cut out for him. And I really thought that they were building something special. They had such a young and talented offensive trio in LaMelo, Con, and Brandon Miller, and you've completely just thrown it away by trading away the best player for absolutely no damn reason. Now, unless something comes out further, like there have been rumblings and murmurs that the reason that they traded LaMelo Ball is for ankle injury concerns, who gives a shit? Who cares, bro? And the fact that this literally happened, 12 hours after it was initially reported that the Hornets were rumored to be shopping LaMelo Ball around, like, did you not talk to any other team? I'm so sure another team could have offered you a much better package than Naz Reid, 1 first-round pick and 3 second-round picks. Now, this is all making it seem like I think Naz Reid's a bad player. He's obviously not, but he is not what you should have traded for LaMelo Ball. Absolutely not. You gave the Timberwolves exactly what they have been after for so long. What a dumb... Can anybody explain this to me if you're the Charlotte Hornets? Because now, yes, they get another big man, which was a priority of theirs, but now you have Naz Reid, Moussa Diabate, Ryan Kalkbrenner, and you also drafted Hans Steinbach. Now you have 4 big men that are all really talented in one aspect, but do not do well on the other. And you have literally just got rid of the offensive engine of your team. But if for Minnesota's sake, what a W of a trade. Because If, like I was saying in my Timberwolves video that I posted earlier today, if you haven't seen that, go and check it out. I said if they can somehow trade away Josh Green and maybe Dante DiVincenzo, hopefully not, but if they can get like a PJ Washington so you can start him at the 4 and then bring Ayo Dosunmu off of the bench, great. You still have Terrence Shannon Jr. Great. Johan Barronjay, I don't know how important he's going to be next season, but you kind of have to cross your fingers for his development. And then when Dante DiVincenzo comes back, he's a really damn good player as well. Now, we can't just assume he's going to be the same player that he was post-Achilles tear, or pre-Achilles tear, I should say, but he's still a damn good player. You have the elite off-the-catch shooting of Ayo and Dante, and then the elite pull-up shooting threat of LaMelo and Anthony Edwards. Can you imagine how much fun this backcourt is going to be of LaMelo and Ant? I am so much more excited to watch those two than I am Giannis in Miami alongside Bam. These two, and LaMelo Ball fits the timeline as well. Remember, LaMelo Ball was drafted the same year as Anthony Edwards. Ant was picked number 1 in 2020. LaMelo was picked 3rd in 2020. LaMelo's 24. Ant is like 23, 24 as well. What a W of a pick. Now, obviously, there's still things around the margins that the Timberwolves need to address, but I do not think that they are done. They cannot be done. They've still got to look for some big men depth. I do think that they still need to find a better playmaker coming off the bench, but at no point are the Timberwolves going to run a lineup without Ant or Ayo or Anthony Edwards on the floor. You're always going to have one or maybe even two of those dudes on the floor, and you've still got Jaden McDaniels, you've still got Terrence Shannon Jr., who's going to be really good. I almost said Rudy Gobert for a second. He doesn't do anything for your offense, but I really think that the Minnesota Timberwolves just got handed a lifeline. This was a miracle from heaven, from the Lord. Their prayers were answered. This team started off with Karl Anthony Towns alongside Anthony Edwards. That didn't work. They were able to get another all-star, former all-NBA player in Julius Randle. That didn't work. And now they go and get another all-star and former all-NBA player in LaMelo Ball. If this doesn't work out, maybe we look at Anthony Edwards a different way. But Anthony Edwards is so damn good. And I genuinely think he is going to have his best offensive year of his career. Both of these dudes now, being LaMelo and Anthony Edwards, are entering their primes. And they are together. The number 1 and number 3 overall pick in 2020. Just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I hate this trade for the Charlotte Hornets, but I love this trade for the Minnesota Timberwolves. I still cannot wrap my head around the thought process behind this. Was LaMelo Ball gambling? Was he involved with the mafia? Was there something even deeper? Because this team with LaMelo, the culture in Charlotte was so good. It was so fun. It was so promising. And yes, they went out sad in the play-in tournament, but that was no fault to LaMelo. And yes, LaMelo played really poorly in the first half against the Magic, but in the second half, he really stepped it up. It was Con Knippel that shat his pants. You're obviously not going to trade Con Knippel, but I don't get it. I don't get it. But yeah, those are just my quick thoughts on this trade after having all day to really process it, because when I made that video, I made it this morning, and my brain was still waking up. I still wasn't able to really process the stupidity of this, but man, the Minnesota Timberwolves, do not get me wrong, and not on the level of the OKC Thunder and the Spurs. I'm not saying that at all. But with moves around the margins, and again, just bringing in those fine-tuning pieces that they need, I think that this team can be a serious threat out west and can definitely pose some problems for the Spurs and the Thunder. But yeah, those are my overall thoughts. Let me know what you guys think about this trade. I think it's stupid, but I'm curious to know your guys' thoughts and feelings. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. And as always, I'll see you on the next one.